To some extent, we have reduced our country, such a big nation, such a big country. Instead of having realistic dreams that can grow the country to better heights, we have reduced our country into one, Singapore, and the other one term. We cannot tie the entire country's dream, such a big nation's dream, at the only thing we are aiming is to get somebody out of office. Then what? Yeah, what next? After getting him out of office, then we get another one who will come, camouflage with us for some time, mimic us for some time. Then after some time, after we elect them, they start. And then we start singing. Say, for example, tomorrow we elect Matiang'i, and then we come and sing Matiang'i must go.
But Mr. Chemiat, what also makes us think that whenever people say two-term, or let's talk about this two-term, one-term. There is a group that is talking about two-term. There's a group that is talking about one-term. Okay, let's talk about one-term. Yes, these people are singing one-term. What is the solution? What are they going to offer after saying one term?
Thank you. And that is the question I've just posed.
That is the question. And then the people that are saying two term, on the other hand, yes, you are saying two term, yet you've been given chance, either one term. What have you done with it that you can present to the people and say that, okay, you gave us an opportunity to rule, these and these and these are the things that we've done, so that now we demand, or now we request that give us another 5 years so that we can finish what we did. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much, guys, for your great support. This is Bonita Media, and my name is Boniface Owino. Now, today we are very lucky to have one of the greatest political analysts in this country. His name is Kevin Chemiat. But I'm going to give him time to introduce himself, tell us who he is and all that. But before we get deeper into this, fellow Kenyans, to the Bonita Media community, the family and all that, you know, we have a project this month, and our project is to go and visit the orphanage. And according to what I've been telling you, what we've been going through, what we've been talking about, this is the announcement. Can you listen to this? And then we embark on our discussion.
There is this children's home. I visited it, had a conversation with the director, both the director and the assistant director. We really talked. I saw the children. There were 2 kids who are abandoned by the mother after birth. I think 2 days. So the children are barely 10 days old. And others are also there. There are around 89 right now, and they told me that there are some in school, so wakirudi wote, the number will be around 100 plus. So we really talked, and they told me that if you can help us, if you guys can help us in 1, 2, 3 things, we'll be really glad to, and we'll really appreciate. Of course, we know very well that this is something that one person cannot do. Kukaa na watoto wote, hata useme uko na only one source of help, it's something that it's impossible. So after that, I had a brief, talk. Nilikaa na watoto, the few that nilipata, wengine nilipata kama wanalala. I just talked to the few, I interacted with the few of them, just kids here and there. And I said that I told them that I have a team which I know that will respond, and after they've responded, I'll get back to you with what they give me. So I just have to request you guys. You are 50 shillings, you are 100 shillings, you are 200 shillings, you are 300, 400, 500 shillings, you are 1,000. Any amount of money which you really feel like can help these kids. Please just use the M-Pesa number on your screen so that you can help these kids. Nobody knows, we cannot say that, I can't help a kid, si mtoto wangu. Haizi kuwa mtoto wako, lakini we all know how maybe these things normally comes later. So just a humble request, please guys, if you can, just use the number on your screen. Just send your 50 bob, your 100 shillings, 200, 300 shillings, whatever you have. We'll make arrangements, and then tutaona what we can do. Kama tutawanunulia vyakula, kama itatosha mpaka manguo, we can do that. It's something that they requested that we do because saa zingine though watoto walali njaa, but sometimes I talk the director told me that sometimes they really struggle how they can get food for the kids, you know, the kids needs to be happy and all that. Actually the kids were very happy seeing me. They were saying the director told me that wanapenda sana wakati mtu amekuja kuwaona mtu mwingine mgeni apart from wale wenye wamezoea, because they feel that they are really loved indeed. So please, that is the project that we have this month. I would request you that I'm humbly requesting you that let us do this for the sake of these kids. Wale wenye walikuwa wanasema kwamba pesa yangu siwezi peleka kanisani kwa tithe, ili nipeleke kwa children's home. Now we have a project. Please just come through and we see what we can do.
Now, after saying so, he was referring to Africa, that we are not mature. And he was trying to say we have to complete the entire cycle for us to mature. That is being civilized. And then African presidents started summoning the US ambassadors and telling them why it is derogatory or whatever. But to me, I always support that statement. As a people, we are not mature. Even whenever you feel like the president is failing you, just know that you are failing yourself because it is your vote that put him there. Number one. Number two, he is a true reflection of who a Kenyan is.
Right.
You see, Bonnie, President William Samoei Ruto, looking at him politically or in the aspect of from which country he comes from, is Bonnie who doesn't, is just Bonnie who has got power and money. Yeah. He has got a position. That is all. Yeah. And that is why we always say, for example, the issue of corruption, we say that most of the Kenyans, they do not hate corruption because it is a bad thing. But they detest corruption because they didn't get a chance to
because they're in a position of stealing.
But you given that opportunity, you also do the same. So that is who a Kenyan is. So whenever we have these people from amongst ourselves who have got some few resources to run around and campaign and get our votes, then they lie to us and we give them votes. They are just part of us because they have gotten resources and an idea to just come and lie to us. You understand? Get it? And I said this and I'm going to repeat it. I think as Kenyans, because personally, Bonnie, I cannot trust you. You are my friend, yes. We've done shows together from different, in fact, mainstream medias and what have you. I know you at a personal level, but I'm not so sure what you can do with the power.
You're right.
I can tell you for a fact. So since I cannot trust you with the power, and I'm not sure what you're going to do if I gave you that very power. If tomorrow you asked that you want me to vote you for a certain seat, I want you and I to have something written, something legal. Something written and something legal that is legally abiding, that I can hold you by the horns whenever you try to go against what you put. We have an MOU. So I've always been of the idea, as Kenyans, we need to come together through maybe a public initiative and push for a constitutional amendment to make sure that manifestos are legally abiding documents. You understand?
I get it.
Such that tomorrow, if I campaigned by telling you that mkinichagua nitabadilisha mifereji yote badala ya maziwa iwe badala ya maji iwe sharubati au maziwa kwa muda wa mwaka mmoja, nitajenga lami yenye urefu wa kilomita 200 katika eneo bunge langu. Nitahakikisha ya kwamba zahanati zote zina dawa za kutosha za kina 1, 2, 3. Then comes the time I have given you that vote. On the day you are elected or you are announced the winner, the IBC gives you the winner certificate that is attached to your manifesto. that one becomes a contract between you and the people who have voted for you. And a manifesto becomes a document, a public document, such that Boni will campaign on his manifesto that we know and we can read. And I will. It will reduce the chances of people lying to us. Otherwise today, and by then this is the reason as to why I've been saying I'm a very disappointed Kenyan, because to some extent we have reduced our country, such a big nation, such a big country, instead of having realistic dreams that can grow the country to better heights. We have reduced our country into one, Singapore, and the other one term. We cannot tie the entire country's dream, such a big nation's dream, at the only thing we are aiming is to get somebody out of office. Then what? Then what? Yeah, what next? After getting him out of office, then we get another one who will come, camouflage with us for some time, mimic us for some time. Then after some time, after we elect them, they start. And then we start singing. Say, for example, tomorrow we elect Matiangi. And then we come and sing Matiangi must go. Matiangi must go. For another 5 years to Mumbai one term. And then and the cycle continues. So must go becomes a cycle. No. This time round, instead of just singing one term, let us add something to this one term. This way. If we successfully remove the president from office through the ballot in 2027, whoever comes in has a document that is a manifesto, a 10-point or 20. Those ones becomes the contract between the said person and Mwananchi. So that is what links the two people. Like I told you, the power belongs to us. We donate this power to the leaders. Now that we say, since we are donating this power to you, you are going to vie in my constituency as the member of parliament. Tell me what you will do, so that if I elected you, will do. You say, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 within this period of time. If by 1 year in office, you have not achieved 75%, for example, of the promise, of what you promised, it is automatic. The Speaker of the National Assembly or the Senate and IBC chair declares your seat vacant. And instead of going again to the ballot, you will save Kenyans money and the hassle. This person who was runners up, the person who was number 2, take over, automatically takes over. When they take over, they come in with also their manifesto. Such that Mwananchi can even have 5 MPs across 5 years, just sending them away. Then you are automatically impeached, automatically impeached. That way, we are working somewhere. But if we reduce such a big nation's dreams to just singing one term and what have you, then it is not enough. So it's all about one term without offering a solution. Thank you. Okay, sawa. Tomorrow we have succeeded. He's one term. We have sent him away. Then, but again, it's suppose whoever comes in disappoints even more than he does, because these people, whenever it is campaigning period, they all look the same, or they all look good. But Mr. Chemiat, what also makes us think that whenever people say 2-term, or let's talk about this 2-term, 1-term for something like 2-3 minutes. There is a group that is talking about 2-term. There's a group that is talking about 1-term. Okay, let's talk about 1-term. Yes, these people are singing 1-term. What is the solution? What are they going to offer after saying 1-term? Thank you. And that is the question I've just posed. That is the question. And then the people that are singing 2-term, on the other hand, yes, you are saying 2-term, yet you've been given chance, the 1-term. What have you done with it that you can present to the people and say that, okay, you gave us an opportunity to rule, these and these and these are the things that we've done, so that now we demand, or now we request that give us another 5 years so that we can finish what we did. Now that one brings us back to the question. That one brings us back to the question of what I've just told you. Political maturity. We are not civilized as Kenyans. And that is why it is easy for us to be deceived. Even the people who are learned like myself, our brothers, the Gen Zs, the only thing there is right now is that we believe we are very much learned. That is the mere fact. But I can tell you it is not enough. We need to be sober. we need to avoid making emotional and euphoric decisions. As Kenyans at large, whatever generation or age bracket you belong to, just be the person who will offer real solutions and somebody who will think broadly. Because right now, can I tell you something? You know, in as much as personally on this show, I'm just an analyst. I never want to identify with a side. I don't want to tell you that I belong to one term or two term or
you are a Kenyan. You are a Kenyan.
I am a Kenyan. I want to tell you that for a fact. But I'm just for in the interest of analyzing, I can tell you this. You see, Ruto has gotten the one-term proponents exactly where he needs them to be. All he needs is for them to undermine him and believe Ameisha. He wants them to shout without offering solutions. He wants them to shout and sleep in comfort zones that tumemweza.
Okay.
So that as you do that, si tunasema tuko kadi kama vijana Gen Z na millennials tuko kadi na akiwa na joka akitutolea joka na tulikuwa kadi,
lakini na akijaza majoka akiwa na can you win jokers completely?
There's no problem, lakini hiyo kadi yenye ilikuwa sasa wamekutolea joka
uko na joka mimi.
But anyway, you get my point. He's gotten us, okay, he's gotten people, the one-time proponents,
to the place where
exactly where he wants them to be. He wants them to be in a comfort zone. They believe that he is home.
He's home.
Nini. Bro, I've heard people saying that Gen Zs are tribeless. You know, I'm sorry, but I'm somebody who looks at things in the very rare that they come. I want to address everything as it comes.
Okay.
I do not make euphoric decisions, and that is why sometimes back I told you that you may belong to a certain age group, maybe Gen Zs, maybe a millennial, but that the mere fact that you belong to that very age bracket doesn't confine you to an idea of the popular ones. You understand? Because Gen Zs are very tribal. Forgive me for saying
it's okay,
and it is not wrong.
It's not wrong to be
and tribal. It is not Kenya alone.
It is
everywhere. I wonder why we normally try to deny Kenyans the fact that the world at large normally votes or selects leaders along some very common lines, and I told you ethnic lines, that is tribal lines, and then religious lines, and then maybe racial lines. You go to USA, you will find that areas where Obama had the majority of votes are areas where people of color come from. The Asians, the people who feel they face prejudice in terms of racism. You understand? And that is where he had the majority of votes.
Right.
You know, for example, Afghanistan or Iran is a Muslim nation. As a Christian, it will be very difficult for you to go there and vie and you win.
In fact, you've gone too far.
Why do you want to deny Kenyans that?
Can you go and vie in Isili and say that you want to be the member of parliament and you're a Christian?
Thank you. So at the end of the day, that is what those are the common lines alongside which the world votes.
Okay.
Now Gen Zs, I told you, they are very tribal. How do you know that Gen Zs are tribal? Go to our campus politics.
Okay.
Wacha ujinga ya kuimba huku kwa street at tribeless. Campus politics recently MKU. You will find that Kalenjins are here. You understand? They are standing with somebody because he's a candidate to be the president of that MKU. In Kenyatta University, where I sometimes vied as a congressman. You understand? You will find that they are this tribe versus this tribe. In fact, they form coalition, tribal coalitions.
In fact, now
I have followed campus politics from since around 2015. That is 11 years now. In fact, I vied in around 2015 at the campus. You understand? That is close to 11 years. And I can tell you, even today, the most recent of which happened at Mount Kenya University, Thika. Very beautiful politics. You cannot say they are wrong. But what happened? We had a Kisi, we had a Kalenjin, and these people were forming. We had a Muslim. They were vying for their own a certain seat. And that is how coalitions were made after the first time of electing the delegates. And then somebody wants to come here and tell me Gen Zs are tribalists. Tribalists, and in campus you are doing tribal politics. You have to be true to yourself.
But I think now when you talk about when you talk about generally, the Gen Zs are saying that they are not tribal. They are not tribal because most of them are not in campus. Okay, I know that one of campus happens. I also witnessed.
But who are the leaders of Gen Zs? In as much as they say they are leaderless, where do we have the direction of Gen Zs emanate? Where do we have majority of the Gen Zs? They are school going people because they are in colleges and campuses, universities. You understand? That is where politics are being done. Campus politics ziko pale na wanafanya za ukabila. And then I am saying and I repeat, it is not wrong.
Yeah, it is not wrong.
For example, today, from where I come from, they elected the Honorable William Ruto, for example. Sindio, did you not have other Kalenjin leaders who we believe could have done better, for example?
They were there.
So, if I voted a Kalenjin against a Kalenjin because I believe in the ideologies of this one, yes, I am being tribal, but at least there has to be substance. So it is leaders to just stop being mediocre and deliver. Do not tell us that you have the tribal majority. You understand?
Okay.
So that is my point.
I get it.
We are very tribal and it is not wrong.
So it's not wrong to be tribal, but
just do it well.
At what
cost?
Okay.
You cannot vote a rogue leader simply because he belongs to your tribe. But if you have two leaders whose records are good and you are forced to choose between one, ungerusha head and tail, such that even if the other one won, you won't take it to heart. That is now the thing I would wish as Kenyans when we mature we get there. For now,
so you weigh quality and quantity.
Yes.
When it comes to that.
Let me tell you. Differentiation can be very difficult. You know, in the earlier years, I remember the years of my late brother, people used to go to university with a B+, a minimum of B+, because they were comparing how many people have scored a B+ and above vis-a-vis the slots they are there in the university or the spaces. Then they say we need this. So they said, let us start from here. Such that tomorrow, if KCSE was done, and the first person in Kenya had a D+. Believe me, somebody with a D plane will go to the university. Because it is about what will make you stand out. So in all these leaders, let us produce the best from every community, so that even if we went tribal, everybody that is at the apex is good, is equally good. There is not a lot of difference between them. So they will all deliver. So in other words, every tribe should bring is the best. The best. Bring your best. Such that even if they do not win, because Aluo has fronted a very good leader, somebody in whose abilities I believe. And I'm saying I'm only voting for Boni because he's my kinsman. But should Boni not win, I won't feel pain, but because that person from Luo land is equally good. Equally good. You understand? That you are voting for the best. Thank you very much. The last question is politicians. You know, I'm trying to wonder what's happening with our politicians, because they have got this notion of chest thumping too much. They chest thump every now and then. Yet even after knowing that everything is wrong, they continue chest thumping. When will this thing stop? I don't see it stopping anytime soon. Because why should they stop? You are the ones who are electing midokers. Patrick Lumumba normally tells us that you entrust highness to look after your goats, and then when your goats are eaten, you wonder why. We are voting every type of midoka. Una vote mtu kwa sababu anaitwa kijiko, sijui kawanjiko, sijui kawajiko. You understand? Just because of a certain mere do you know, I remember there was a musician, Kipepeo was voted, anaitwa Njagwa ama anaitwa Njagwa. Somebody brings a lot of drama, trains 2 days, and then because they have the publicity, they run for an office and they win.
They win.
And then where will expect service delivery? You know, sometimes Kenyans appear to quite serious bana. Vote for somebody of substance. We've weighed this person over the years. They have been very consistent. We've looked at their track record. For example, go to Nairobi gubernatorial. Honestly speaking, I am not, okay, I'm not to be partisan.
Okay.
How would the Nairobians go for Governor Sagaja, and I mean no disrespect,
Okay.
at the expense of Polycarp Igathe, considering their track records? Don't you see we are still fools?
Very fools. Very big
Thank you.
fools.
Look at it, they put their track records here. But what helped Gachagua? He trended with the dimples, and then there was the issues surrounding his academic records. And then when he became popular enough, there was not a lot to do.
So in Kenya, what
we
happens?
vote for popularity.
You know that is what I want.
And that is why people are doing very funny things just to trend, have a name, and then they can have influence.
So it's all about name. It's not about the quality of what you can do. It's the popularity.
Publicity.
Yeah.
You know, to some politicians, publicity is publicity. It doesn't matter positive or negative.
Okay.
Let me give you a secret. I had a very close friend of mine who was in the parliament. And he had another friend who was not my friend, but by extension, they were both my friends. You can imagine, they could agree when we are seated somewhere at a night out, we are watching soccer, and they could say, "Aki ya Mungu kesho nitaku." I'm quoting what one of them said. Kesho nitakuonesha. Kesho lazima tutokee kwa gazeti juu. They agree to go even and fight in parliament. So that they can be on the top page of the dailies.
Where?
So everybody is doing everything for publicity. And they know that once you have the publicity, that's an important tool you can use, lie to people a few days and then be elected in office. And that is how vulnerable Kenyans have become.
As we finish, what is the last statement as we finish this session?
I don't have a lot to say about the same, but I can assure you on one thing. We are very far from maturity as a country. Unless we purpose to mature, we are not close to it.
Unless we purpose to mature. Can you repeat that again?
As a country, we are very far from political maturity. And unless we purpose to mature, we are not coming towards close to it anytime soon. And since it is a process, we have to complete the cycle. We must go through the cycle. And it could be unfortunate, but what could be remaining for Kenyans to mature could be revolution. I don't know if it will happen in this regime, the next or the subsequent ones, but it will come at a point.
It must come.
Yes. Maybe Gen Alphas will achieve that.
Now, fellow Kenyans, what I have to say is, as we finish this session, is that when you plant your seeds and then there is no rain for a very long time, a very good farmer or a person who went through agricultural classes and studies knows very well that the best thing that you can do is to make sure that you do irrigation so that you can have a good harvest. That is all we had for this moment. Until we meet again, the next video if it's possible, I'll be your host, Boniface. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Oh, when you collect